Hello, welcome back to ABI-DOS. Last episode we really struggled with level 26. We had this nonsense of a setup going on here, but I thought about it, and it is the next day. I thought about it in the morning, so I have some idea of what I want to do now. Last episode we already laid the foundation of the general idea I'm going to use. I think this works. I've thought about what the different edge cases are in my program and how to fix all of them. It's actually not that challenging. So this time, instead of simply just something for the output to come out and something for the output to be sent into the something for S0 to come out and something for S0 to be sent to S5, we will now instead have 3 different tracks. The idea will all still stay the same though. There will be this regular setup, and how the setup works is that there is going to be an obstructor that will hold something indefinitely until triggered by something behind it. So yes. And then afterwards it will be released, and this will be repeated over and over again. This, however, is only part of the total system. My idea is to have four of these 4 icons in each room. We definitely want one output. That output will send that will send the object to the exit. So there will be something coming out of here that will send the output to the exit. And before that, I also do want another B sensor, and you'll see why in a moment. And we're going to copy this. We're going to copy this basically. That's all we're going to do. So yeah, we're going to need quite a lot of space here, but it should be doable. In fact, I could compress this into a space of I don't know how small I could compress this, but I really only need this to be down here. And then the previous one will simply be the exact same thing. But of course it needs to be shifted a little bit. So yeah. Each room is composed of 4 sets of symbols. Of course, it's taking a lot more than I expect, to be fully honest, but we should be okay. In fact, because this can be all the way up here, I'm pretty sure I can make this work with as much space as possible. Yeah, so like this and this, and I can repeat here. This, and this can face downwards. Yeah, okay. And this is basically the collection system. I can place 5 of these in a row and I'll have a holder for 5. Of course, an issue might be that at some point you have a lot of pluses in a row, and in that case it might be very challenging to hold a lot of things. Like here you can see plus, there's 5 in a row. So already we can tell we need to hold 5 things at the very least, and I'm scared that in the future there might be somewhere where I need to hold more than 5 things in a row. Right now I don't see anything. I don't see a big cluster of pluses anywhere. This one is also 5. There's a big chunk of minuses before that, so hopefully that means that it's exactly 5 as well. Yeah, so let's suppose that the maximum number we should be holding is 5 for now first. If it stops working, we'll see what happens. And this is going to take up a big chunk of the space, but I'm fine with that because actually the rest of the programming, the rest of the machine shouldn't really take that much space. Whoa. Should be like this, right? Yeah. Should push it to the left, otherwise it'll turn right. Then we'll repeat this to turn right. And then yeah, that's your output. You can have an output here. So yeah, I guess that's that. We'll of course still need something else to come in here. So what is actually going to trigger these items to release? So right now, if let's say something comes in, it'll be held in place, right? If I say had something to activate a bunch of outputs here, what will happen is that these things will be held in their respective positions. This should be like this first, and then turned off otherwise. Yeah, so like that, held like that. And you will be held in their respective rooms. And so what is going to be releasing each item from the room is going to be the minus, right? Because the minus indicates that you need to remove something from the room. And so what's going to happen is that the minus will activate both this, okay, hold on, let me see. By right, what should happen is that this output should check for pluses and minuses. So let's do that first. We can always just check for green and red, because that's the easiest way I can do this. If it checks for red and is correct, it sends it to the output immediately, which let's just say is a kill first. Otherwise it'll be sent up, where it will start its journey to activate everything around it. So yeah, so we should test for green. Green will be sent upwards, red will be sent over. Yeah, and so if green comes up, what happens is that the green will firstly need to obtain... there's so little space. There's way too little space. Because not only do I want this to happen, right? I also need to make sure that this green symbol gets destroyed at the very end without further killing of these guys. So like what has to happen is I just need a really big space in general, which means I can't hold 5 things. Of course I can hold 5 things with a smaller room, but that's not how, you know, said smaller room is going to work, right? Well, smaller rooms can work, actually. I can make it so that these bees don't exist, and they exist only in the output area. Okay, we can try that. Okay, let's do that. Let's have each of these rooms be just 3 large. So now we only need 5 of these set up. So we only need like a corner of the room. Okay, as for the wires, let's get rid of all the red wiring. The red wiring, we will first activate each of them to their obstructor. This section we can get rid of. This will give us a lot more space to work with. Actually, because of this thing over here, we actually don't need this, right? Well, we might. I think we will need it. We will need it. I can program that at the very end. Okay, also the output lanes have to be different. The output lanes are here. 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 And as for this one, it'll be the same as this one. Here. Actually, this wouldn't be required if we're holding only 5 things. If we only hold 5 things, then this wouldn't be required. In fact, this wouldn't be required either, to be fully honest, if we're holding 5 things. Because there will be nothing behind it to release it if we're only holding 5 things. There will be no 6th object to come out and push everything down. But it's only assuming we're holding on to 5 things is the problem. I don't know how many we're holding on to. Like, I'm really scared of this. There's 4 minuses behind these 5 pluses, so that gives me some hope. Same goes for a lot of these 5 plus sections, right? A lot of them, you know, are fine. So let's get rid of that. This is a pretty small area, and I do like that. We have the output be right here. Alright, well, I will take it actually. This is a very nice small thing. And I can place a B sensor behind all of these. This B sensor will simply... Okay, well the B sensors in the corners are actually a bit messed up. Because they can't really exit out without activating other stuff. So let's shift everything over by 1. This has to be shifted over by 2. Yeah, so, oh gosh. Let's shift all these over by 1. Actually, if I shifted everything over by 1, then... Yeah, then it actually resolves itself at the very first section, and then nothing else needs to be changed. So in reality, I only need to shift everything over by 1 exactly. I'm really sorry if you don't get exactly what's going on. It is a little bit confusing. Is it shift over? Yeah, shift it over. This one goes here, and then the same thing happens with this. So yeah, okay, at the very end I'll explain everything. But this is the main setup we'll have for the stack compiler. In fact, if I could push everything forward by 1 again, which I can actually do very easily, I can do something even better that saves a lot more space. And that thing is actually this. Look at that. Now everything's kept in the corner, and I still have quite a big space to work with. What that big space is going to be for is for the minus sign to come in and do all its activation. These B signals will then well, okay, I haven't figured out the exact wiring yet, but this idea seems to work. So let's quickly just set up one of these things that checks for green. Okay, so checks for green. To be fully honest, it doesn't need to push it through that far. In fact, it only needs to go around here. It only needs to ever touch these 4 conveyors, because these are the only 4 conveyors that will push things out. Actually, it might need to touch this obstructor as well. It needs to touch obstructors and conveyors. Ooh, which might lead to an issue because there must be some space between... Yeah, there must be some space between the conveyor and the next obstructor. Okay, well, I mean, we have the idea, so let's roll with it, and then if we can't do anything about this, we'll just shift it over. That's fine. So what happens is that... Let's say this happens. This will go here, it will release here by having a B over here, and this B will activate both this and the conveyor next to it. So look at that. It activates this and this, so it'll push this out. Now what this B is going to do is it's going to make sure that the minus sign that comes out doesn't do any more damage. It doesn't push the next thing out because it's on its way to push the next thing out. What this B needs to do is it needs to be able to connect over to a conveyor. Let's say a one cycle conveyor, because that is generally gonna prevent anything bad from happening here. In fact, we can also employ one cycle conveyors for this as well. which will allow this B to not affect this conveyor, which will then allow me to connect this without any additional problems. So what you can see here is that this will be held. This will push this down and over. This will not activate this and push this over, and that will prevent this from going to the next step. And this will basically move towards the end. So yes, I do like that idea. Of course, I'm going to need this to first activate this. Okay. Yeah. Every plus forces the next minus to come out, but every minus shouldn't necessarily force the next plus to come out, because that might speed up the process by too much. See, the issue with this is that this... Well, no, this is fine, right? Good, good. And there you go. And this basically completes the cycle and ends out the output. Very nice. Next, we basically repeat this process. So I want to resolve this by in fact making it so that this is a one cycle and is also activated by the minus sign. So activates, activates, activates. Yes, there you go. And this is very repeatable. This is very, very repeatable. Oh, that is so clean. Look at that. It's a lot it's a lot, but the idea is all there. And in fact, because this is well, I made it so that you can stack this on top of each other very well. See, this just goes here. This B has to go, yeah, this B over here is the same as this B over here, which we know connects to both the conveyors plus the next B over there, which is actually these four symbols. And of course, this one just has to be a single turn cycle as well. So do all of these actually. There you go. And now I can repeat, right? Wait, no. Wait a minute, it's squashed. No, this goes to there. What? Oh, okay, I see. There needs to be a space. That's fine though. I mean, this is kept in such a small area that I'm sure that we can accommodate another column here for more stuff. Right? Yeah, we can definitely do that. Okay, so Okay, so right now this goes here, it releases and kills it. Okay. Now I need to make sure that this maps to this. So this should map to this one. Okay, let's get rid of all of these first. This B... Well, this B can just go here, I guess. The B can go right before the thing. Yeah, well, I said something about being able to tile. It can tile, it just requires a lot of empty space. But it's alright, honestly. Right? I think it's alright. Oh, actually, maybe not. Maybe here? It's okay. Okay, things are getting a bit scuffed. Things are getting a little bit scuffed. Yeah, no, things are getting very scuffed. Hold on. These directions are all wrong already. Okay. So the first thing does its job. I want to make sure the second thing does its job. Let's actually place this here. So this will set S1 to send out the next item. S1 sends out the next item. Then the minus comes out. Okay. The minus comes out again. It doesn't do anything because nothing is going to activate the conveyors. And so now, what does it do? It's supposed to create a hash symbol. But what creates a hash symbol? Well, it's very easy. It itself can become the hash symbol. So that was one of the things I was trying to figure out. And yeah, it works. Okay, so I can do this. I realize now I can always just do that. So, okay. That will continue its journey. And we need to hold 5 things. Right now we're holding 3. So we need to duplicate this twice more. That should be doable though. Let's shift this all the way at the very end first. Okay, the problem is that this B needs to map to this, so I need to push this up slightly. So the next B is gonna be here though. Unless I could have put this here, but the problem of putting this here in the corner is that it can only move up. It can't split into 2 different paths. So, okay, fine, let's say I do this. This is the 4th thing. Oh. Okay. B, conveyor. We'll continue. This is the problem now is that there's so little space left. Okay, let's do this. Do I need to hold this? Do I need to do this 5 times? I think I might need to do this 5 times. But right now I'm only doing it 4. So I'm gonna let's just hold it for 4 first, and we'll see what happens. Okay, it will. This should be where the exit is. Firstly, if it gets pushed away, it will get pushed away into a recycler. If not, it will move forward. And I can make it so that at this portion over here, it becomes a red hash. An equalizer and a colorer should do it. This is a color sensor. Equalizer, colorizer, color to red, equalize to 155. Activate it. It should also activate this to come out again. So alright, let's try this. So this sends out the 8. Of course, nothing will happen for a while until this comes out. It sends out the next item. This will come out and it will push in a 3. The next one comes out and there's nothing there, so it won't get pushed away. It won't get pushed away again. It will become the hash and get sent in, and we'll continue doing this. So okay, this repeats and we're doing the same time. Now I'm trying to figure out what happens if 2 pluses happen in a row, because then there might be a bit of an issue with timing. Right? Okay, there are 2 minuses give you a hash again. So now it sends in here, it sends in another one. Is this fast enough? Well, it's fast enough for now. Huh. No, it will always be fast enough. Yes. It will always be fast enough. Because the time it takes for this to go here, or the ones that's coming here will always be the last plus. And the last plus to the next minus we know is definitely a perfect cycle because we've checked the first set. So yes, this works. And the 9 goes in. Next is the 5. So another plus will come out. Another plus is a 6. The 6 is a help, there's nothing behind it. The 6 will be released. Okay. Then another plus comes out, that will release the 6, and then the 6 is released again. Okay. The plus comes out, and 5 is released, that 5 is released. Now we have 4 more pluses, this is where it breaks, isn't it? Plus, 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 that's 5 items. And we only have space to hold 4. So what happens to the 5th one? The 5th one gets thrown in. And it gets thrown in early, the 6 should come in first. Yeah. So we need 5 holders, which is now an issue because I don't have space to hold 5 things. I need to make space. Or I need to compress the system on the outside. So much for this challenge mode. I don't even know what's going on there. Like, definitely this is not what they want from me. They want me to be able to hold an infinite number of items, I assume, in our stack. But I have no idea how. I honestly have no idea what they're asking me to do here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make a final setup. Okay, can I... No. I was thinking, can I push this back? If I push this back to here, the issue is that since this is still here... No, it's not gonna work. How do I make more space? I can't just push the entire thing down, this is connected to this. I need to somehow fix that little bump upwards. I need to push it back down here, but I can't. It's the problem. Yeah, I don't know, man. I need more space. I just need a lot more space. I don't... The idea works. It's just that I can't hold like more than 4 things at once, and that is very, very annoying. That I can't do that, because I need to do that. At least 5, at least. It might be even more than 5, so even if I could make this work, it wouldn't actually. Well, if it's a 5th thing, then I guess maybe I don't actually need... Yeah, okay. Okay, be here to activate this, which I think is all we need actually. So there will be no other conveyor here. That B will activate this to go back down. Otherwise it'll turn upwards. But the problem is that now that it turns upwards, it's not gonna make a red hash. There's no space to push it into a red hash maker. I've used so much space that it's not gonna do it. fact, this isn't gonna have to be here. There's gonna be one forward. In fact, if it's one forward, uh-oh, no space at all. I can push it out as a green thing, but oh, what? Oh, there needs to be this. What? Wait. Oh, I know. It can always become a red hash like right now. I guess it doesn't have to be. Yeah, it can always become a red hash like in here. There's space here. In fact, it can be a red hash. It can become a red hash at any point in time where there's space. Because after being sent to different locations, it just becomes a placeholder object. It no longer has any meaningful value. So yeah, okay. So now we can hold 5 things. Is that adequate? Is that adequate enough for me? Hash. Hey, red hash goes in. Of course we still need this to come in first, so yeah, okay. Okay. 2 goes in. Nothing goes in, so it runs a hash. Good, good. Okay, holds things in. Brings out the 9. Should bring out the 6. Bring out the next one. The 5 comes out. Okay. That 5 is held there. Anything wrong with that? We have a lot of minuses in the way. Okay, the minus next pushes out the 2. Good. The next one should push out the 8. Good, good. It's gonna push out the 5? What? Wait, what's going on? Wait. Can I set a breakpoint? Set a breakpoint at the one over here. Yeah. What happens here? Oh, it already comes out as a wrong mistake. Okay, let's set the breakpoint to be here then. So what happens here? The 8. Where did the 8 go? So where did the 8 go? What? Oh, the 8 is here. Where's the other 8? Wait, why is the 5 being pushed out? Dude, okay, I have no idea what's going on. Let's set a breakpoint here. So at this point, everything still worked well, right? After the 6, the 2 gets pushed out. Then the 8 should get pushed out. Twice, 2 8s get pushed out. There's 8 get... Ah, this. It gets pushed out into the cycle, so it pushes out 8 twice. Well, we can fix that with the conveyor. That's very easy. Alright, so let's try that again. In fact, let's try it here. Now we can more easily see what's going on. So the 8 gets pushed out, and the reason why it didn't work was that when this goes here, it should be going to the recycler. It doesn't, and it goes this way, which breaks the cycle, but now it should be fine. The 8 now comes out. Okay. The 1 comes out, the 2 comes out. Okay, that's a lot of things. 3 comes out, the 5 goes out, the 2, okay, we're still holding. Alright, so that's all it is. Right now it seems to work for holding up to 5 objects. Issue is, will it ever hold 6 objects? It will. Wait, no it won't. What? Why is it suddenly... Wait, why does it suddenly produce all those red hashes? Oh wait, it produced a lot of errors back there as well. 3, okay. Then okay, 3 gets pushed out. 9 gets pushed out. Where's the 8? Right, the 8 is from the plus, right? Yes, the 8 gets pushed out. Then the minuses force the 2 to be pushed out. Okay, there's a 4 here. My guess is that there's not enough time. Wait, what? Wait, what? There is a minus here. But instead of a 4, the 9 is there? When did that happen? Did it go all the way back? What about here? What was here? 9 was there. When did a 4... A 4 was added in a while ago. Alright, let's set a breakpoint here. Alright, what happened to the 4? 8. The 9 and the 8 come in. The next plus pushes in the 4. The 4 should get pushed out. So that 4 is already pushed out. So where's the next 4? Why is there another 4 here? Is that linked to this 4? No. That 4 is... Wait. Yeah, okay, question. Why are there 3 4s? Where are those 3 4s? There's a 4 here which we know links to this 4. Wait, no it doesn't. There's a 4 here. There's a 4 here. Wait, what? Wait, the answer doesn't seem to be doing what I think it should be doing. So that 4... Okay. Let's get rid of this breakpoint. When does this 4 come in? A while ago. Why... Yeah, that 4 comes out. That 4... Ah... Were we... When? Yeah, when is there a 4? There's another minus coming up, right? And the next minus should push things out. But when did I ever have a 4 to be pushed out? Wait, what? I have to watch this thing like actually happen in real time. That's gonna be insane. I can't catch this. Everything checks out. Until there. Like, where does a 4 even get trapped? Oh, where should a 4 be trapped? There's a 4 coming up. After this 3. Which rightfully gets released. The 5 gets released. The 2 gets released. The 7 gets released. There's a 4 there. And... Ah! That 4 bonds with this 5. Oh! Okay, firstly, it's because I didn't connect these two. But secondly, that's because there's 6 things in there. It's a 6th object that hits the 5. Well, it makes the 5 the 6th object. So no, this wouldn't work. No, this wouldn't work. It still fails. It sends out a 5 too early. And then I don't know what all these pluses and hashtags are for. Like, is it supposed to end the program itself? Oh. We need 6, not 5. Yes, the game will give you a limited number, but the limited number is 6, not 5. Which means that I need to build a machine for 6. Wow, okay, the idea is still the same though. Okay, I can do this. Alright, well, we've been through most of the idea of what I want to do now. I think I'm going to edit this so that either I make a time lapse or I cut to the time I actually solve it with a 6 stack size, and we'll see how it goes then. Alright, no time for talking. Let's start a new solution for 6. Let's go. Hello. Alright, so I'm back with a solution, and this solution is, well, I won't say it's mine, but I managed to improve it, I believe. This solution is very much heavily taken from another YouTuber called lmao, I think that's who they're called. I'm gonna link the video from them where they find the solution into how do you do this? Yeah, I'm gonna link a solution, that solution, in the description below once I'm done. But this solution is very heavily inspired of that solution. What this solution does is, overall, it uses the check for red and green to tell whether it pushes something forward or pulls something backwards. So when a red occurs, it pushes things out. When a green occurs, it rotates, it basically turns on all these conveyors which pushes things back to their previous position. And this actually won't be very easy to see until here. No, actually until the point with 2 pluses, yeah. So let's see what the 2 pluses look like. So we got a couple of stuff here. So a plus comes out here and pushes out the 5. The next plus comes out. Now it's 5 and a 9 here. When the minus first comes out, the conveyors kick in, and this first 9, which is the very start of our sequence, gets pushed out to the final area, whereas the next one gets pushed back into the first position. So this consistent pushing back to the first position is what allows there to be an object at the very beginning. And that's what I was trying to solve all the time. I was trying to find a way to, keep the first, or keep the topmost thing in the stack in place. And I went a different route. My route was to use the green to basically sweep the entire thing. The green would have went all the way around and checked for the first sign of any bit, and then take that bit with it. So instead, what this solution does is that every single time there's a green, it pushes the topmost U-bit back to the very beginning. So no matter what happens, this one will always be at the top, and therefore whenever it's released, it will always be the correct thing that comes out. So that is a difference in my solution and their solution. Their solution is definitely more space efficient, maybe even more time efficient as well. So yes, that is, firstly, that's how it works. Let's restart. Another thing that we had to check was that if there was nothing here, if there were no symbols coming out, right now there's a symbol 2 that when a green checkmark is discovered will be released and submitted. But now there's nothing. What happens? It should release one of these things, right? These red hashes. So the reason why it can release when there's nothing here is because of this B state switcher over here. Usually the B state switcher would activate this conveyor and push it over, which causes it to be not released. So when the 2 is released, this red hash is not released. However, on this particular cycle, or on this particular round, nothing is on the B switch. The B switch is not switched by anything, which means that this hash can move forward as per usual and will be sensed in as a red hash in place of whatever should have been on the B switch. And if there was something on the B switch, then the switch gets switched on and then the 151 gets destroyed. And of course, this over here is also part of the solution that Alan Malloy integrated into this solution. I made it a little bit more maybe intended, because what they did was they had this port Y that was triggered by the presence of a green. Basically what I meant is that a green tick would activate port Y. Port Y would spawn a U-bit that turned into a red hash, and only if this was switched on would the port Y actually, the red hash from port Y get destroyed. If there's nothing on the switch, the port Y's red hash would keep going. So they used this symbol over here to produce U-bits that would make red hashes. In my case, I used the green tick itself, the green dash itself. Have I always called it a tick? I think I've always called it a tick. My mistake, it's not a tick, it's supposed to be a dash. The green dash, my solution takes the green dash itself to become the red hash. And this way I don't need to use any of these non-recommended things over here. So yeah, that's just the solution. I think there's one more thing that I need to show you. It's this. What happens when the entire thing is filled up? That will explain the reason why this obstructor for 2 cycles exists. So, actually no, it's actually a lot earlier actually. It's actually to do with this guy over here, this 7. As you can see, this 7 takes a really long time to get back. So how is it going to work? Well, if this obstructor weren't there, it would fail. You can see there's already a failed value over here. The reason why is because, well, you can also see there's a gap over here. I think the first time that actually happens is around here. You can see there's an 8 here. However, when the green tick comes over here, what happens is that in trying to get back, this 8 takes really, really long. In fact, it takes so long that the next item comes in and already activates the conveyor before this 8 can show up. Therefore, this 8 gets held in place. Once the 8 gets held in place, everything breaks because, you know, the 8 is basically one cycle behind. It's supposed to be here now because it should have taken this train and then taken this train. But it's one train late, it missed the train. So now it's one entire cycle behind, which means the next tick that comes in will sense nothing in here and will produce a red hash incorrectly, even though the 8 should have been there. So what we do is we basically delay the tick. We delay this tick to make sure that the 8 actually gets here first before this comes in. And how do we do that? Well, we add an obstructor. Most of the time we use obstructors for being sensed by other things, such as in the middle case over here. Every single time these get triggered, the obstructors will release. But at this point, since I only want to create a delay, I don't need to, you know, have a sensor, right? I don't need an 8 to sense its position here. I can just manually calculate it. And because we know that the 8 is about 2 cycles too slow, this obstructor takes 2 cycles. So here you can see that the 8 goes here. This is held for 2 cycles. And when this next comes in, it barely manages to hit the switch and allow the 8 to pass through. And so that perfectly continues for us. And there you go. That is a solution. And yeah, that should be the entire thing. If I play it out, it should work. And it does. Cool. If I go and check, Alan, can I call you Alan? I hope I can. I hope I don't have to be too formal here. Let's see what the solution's final results were. Because, you know, I know it's not a competition, but I just don't want to just steal someone's solution. So besides just, you know, taking the inspiration from their solution, I also want to be able to, you know, improve on it. I want to be able to make sure, well, firstly, the first improvement that I already have is that I don't use port Y. So I'm going entirely within the bounds that the game wants me to be in here, even though the game does allow me to stay to use other symbols as well. Alright, the final stats were a cycle count of 3,145. What are my cycle counts? My cycle count is 2,231. So yes, I've made a pretty big improvement of like almost 1,000 actually. I actually have no idea how I do that. I think it's because... honestly, no idea. The icons I used, there were 29 icons, he used 29 icons, so yes, 2 icons each. And space, I used 65, he used 67, so it's also an improvement. Very nice. I took inspiration from their solution and improved on it, which I'm pretty happy about. So yeah, there you go. That's your final solution. And now with this little setup over here, I can finally, you know, understand how it might be possible to use challenge mode. Obviously, with all these extra wires around, there must be some other way to push things backwards. But yeah, I don't know why I never thought about this idea of having one push forward and the other color push backward. This is a lot more neat. So yeah. Well, I guess there you have it. That solves it. You can see there's a white bar over here. Yeah. I can see that there's like a pretty big jump over here. A lot of people managed to do it in like 1,000. Yeah. That's okay. Overall, wow, over my space percentile is 19%. Wait, 19% is it good or bad? Am I at the bottom 19%? It looks like I might be at the bottom 19%. Although I feel like yes, that's what percentile means in terms of those charts. The smaller the value, the worse it is. Yeah, you can also see here the big spike over here, which explains why mine being further out in number of cycles, I'm at a lower percentile than 50. The average will be slightly below mine. As for this one, my icons were not that bad. I did pretty well. For space, I used up a lot of space. Yeah, I was very confused at first because I used up basically the entire board and still got a percentage of 19. I thought this was good, but no, this is not good. This is pretty bad of a score actually. Anyway, yeah, that is Stack Compiler. Wow, this one took me forever. 2 episodes, so now we're at a rate of 0.5 levels per episode. That will be a big problem. Anyway, yeah, I haven't had to use help here, so I'm like not very confident about the rest of these levels. We'll see though. I guess at the very least I want to be able to complete all of the levels on the first page. If I can't do any of the second page, I guess, you know, I won't be too mad at myself, because these are getting very, very challenging. Alright, so next episode we're doing router. Yeah, I have no idea what that is about, but hopefully it treats me a little bit better. Until then though, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.